Ryan decided to do another review of the Perseverance rover's images sent down from Mars at the Jezero crater. Right now, we are not sure that even if NASA says that it is in real time, that we are actually getting live images, or if the images are just rerunning, for it seems that the scan has remained the same for the last few days. The reason why we wanted to do this was to see if any of the images changed, for instance the snake/serpent/dragon-like ones that Ryan identified. For if they moved, then we would know for sure that there is life. In addition, if the images are different, then we may be able to see more in a different light. In this final view, we decided that most of the images remained the same, so at this point we cannot determine if life still exists there. However, there are additional images that he did not pick up the first few times. And the video is longer. In the video you are about to see, Ryan recorded where he zoomed in on images, and then did a snapshot. Whether you will be able to see some of the same things that we see in these images will depend on a number of things, which are the resolution of your monitor, the size at which you are watching the video, and the quality of your graphics card. You may hear Ryan refer to some of these images as living creatures or beings, however, none of this has been verified yet. All we can do is show you the images that Ryan has collected from Mars, and what they could be. You will have to make your own determination. We think it obvious that some of these images require further investigation by many, to determine what the truth really is. This first image is similar to the famous face of Mars, taken by the Mars Orbiter satellite. This next image might be out of sequence, but it is a magnified view of a cliff that shows some interesting and possible unnatural rock formations. Up at the top of the cliff, you can see a cubical structure which looks like it has a roof and a door. Up in the right-hand corner is what looks like part of a circular disc-shaped object, partially sticking out from the rocks with remarkable patterns on it. In this next image, let's go from top to bottom. Right off the bat we have this structure which is similar to a triangle, with a 45-degree and a 90-degree projection coming off of it. Below it is a perfect triangular cave entrance. Over to the left a little and down you can see a larger rectangular cave entrance, which has a wall structure at the side. There is also another square cave opening beside it. And then there is another random-shaped cave entrance with something that resembles the face of a monument of some kind, which is similar to the face on Mars, except from a side view. Below that, you have a wall with a perfect inside 90-degree angle, and within the wall you have construction materials that are different from other parts nearby, with two holes in the material like you would see in a cement block, and this part which is broken off due to a cataclysm and could be part of that same wall structure. Beside that, there is another odd-shaped formation that could be a pipe or intelligently designed object which sits on some kind of platform or terrace. I find it interesting that the overall structure looks like it is made of shale or different layers of rock, but when you look inside the large cave, it is smooth, and you do not see the layers anymore. Also, if you look at that large part of the wall that is broken off, it is much thicker than any parts of those layers, so the layering must be a result of weather or water erosion. If not, that part of the wall would have to have been transported from a different location. In addition, and I am not sure if it is due to pixelation or not, but the camera is supposed to be super high definition, and inside the caves throughout the entire rock face seems to have square entrances deeper in the cave. There are also a number of flat and rectangular platforms through the entire structure. Yes, we have heard a lot about how some of the strange formations were made by lava tubes and so forth, but how do you explain so many square or rectangular openings and platforms, for example, like this one? That is square, and then right at the entrance there seems to be a large platform in front of it. As far as we know, lava does not flow out making square holes like this. Finally, in this image, there seems to be a series of steps throughout the entire structure. Perhaps they are due to water erosion, but many of them seem to be in the exact place they are needed. Here is another cave with an interesting anomaly. Apparently, there is not supposed to be any real signs of plant life on Mars. Ryan originally thought that this image was a weird-looking snake or animal which was possibly still living. However, we are not so sure right now. They will probably explain this off as some kind of lava excretion, yet, we believe it could be a Martian tree or vine of some kind. If it were lava, and due to the amount of time it would have been there, and the atmosphere on Mars, it should not be standing erect as it seems to be now. In addition, the small lower part of the body that supports the upper portion does not seem to adhere to the laws of physics, for it is so small compared to what it supports, unless it was intelligently made from a material humans are not aware of. Then there is this slightly to the left that looks like a sculpture of an alien being, or animal with a head, ears, and 3 arms remaining, that are mounted on a small platform. Keep in mind that the heads of the 2 anomalies are very similar. Ryan had another look at this image as well and made a few more observations. It very much looks like a head of an ape or possibly a lion. It has large eyes and its mouth is wide open, you can even see the eyes are a different color than the rest of it. It has a snout with nostrils, as well as lips and chin. In another image you will be able to see an enhanced and lightened image which shows teeth inside the mouth. Here's that enhanced image. Now let's zoom down to this image right here. It looks like a building of some kind. It has a roof and cylindrical type chimney structure. Once it is enhanced and brightened up a bit you can even see it has some very odd shaped structures around it, like this horseshoe shaped wall, and what could possibly be an outline of a spacecraft covered in dirt. That's not all. In the same image could this be the skeletal or petrified remains of some kind of dinosaur fish? A little further on, it seems like this rock was intelligently designed to have stairs reaching up to the platform above. There are at least 2 very interesting things in this image. Near the top of the cliff it looks like a submarine figure was carved in the rock, you can definitely see something there, and a little below that, there is another one of those creatures that seem to be popping up in several other images. And what's that? Could it be the head of one of those snake creatures, with the tail that winds down below? And are these rocks that just look like snake heads with lava tubes always around them? Could this be something popping its head out of the ground because it seems to have a neck and glowing eyes? Ryan calls this the alien junkyard because there seems to be too many unexplainable things there. In this next image that is from what Ryan calls the alien junkyard, there is another very interesting image which he called the Robo-Martian. Here you can see its head, which is detached but still close to the body. Then its body which has some unique markings on it. And then the legs, which bend, and lastly, the arms. At the shoulder you can see how it is a mechanical type aperture. It's laying on a structure that does not seem natural and resembles wooden pallets with boards and right angles. Possibly made of stone or even metal that's in decay. There is also an interesting white image, that looks like it might be some kind of weapon below it a bit. Over to the left there is a right-angled piece of material that resembles angle iron, and above the robot there is another cave entrance with a platform in front of it. Finally there is this image here which looks like the match for that right-angled piece of possible iron. And on top of that there is a circular object which looks like it has 2 more snake-like things hanging around it. In this cave you can see what looks like a large reptile head that may be carved into the wall, and below that cave is another rectangular cave opening, with a supporting structure on top. The walls inside the cave look like they are intelligently designed as well. Dropping down on that cave face we see something very interesting and which I believe is intelligently made. It looks similar to something you would see at a Mayan temple, used as a waterfall, or it could even be another terrace because it has an entrance inside it as well. Here we have what seems to be remnants of an ancient wall with beveled edges on it. And look, two more rockfish-like images that have eyes, snout and a slit for a mouth. Now we are scanning the inside, seeing the wall of the crater. This image down here looks like some kind of bird monument laying on its side. And is this one of those lava tubes they talk about, or is it some kind of pipe drainage system? And off in the distance it looks like what might be 4 pyramid-type structures. All of which are similar to ones we have on Earth in different parts of the world. Let's take a closer look. It is unfortunate when you zoom in that far the quality of the image drops considerably. However, there does seem to be a resemblance of the step pyramids in Egypt and Mexico. Especially this one here. Oh, and I forgot about the one on the very left of the screen. But now I don't think it is a pyramid. However, it could be a wall structure related to the pyramids that are located nearby. This next image is a little confusing. At first glance it looks like some kind of statue, like a Buddha, sitting with its arms crossed, with something on its head. Yet if you look a little closer, it seems like there are two creatures, one behind the other, with its arms around the one sitting in front of it. Then next to them, there is a cave, and another figure's head and neck is popping out of the opening looking at the other two creatures. This image kind of looks like a creature with a whole bunch of legs, however, it just may be a reflection of the top on it. It is still quite interesting though, and it is near the mouth of a cave again. We saved perhaps the best example of evidence of ancient life on Mars for last. This image is extraordinary in many ways. It shows the clear outline of a ship. You can see how it starts with the bow. Instead of a spaceship, it looks more like a ship that was made for water. On the front we can see the clear remnants of the bow, and the ship's sides are visible here. Then at the rear of the ship there seems to be evidence of the stern as well. Returning to the bow, we have one of the best images of those creatures that have appeared in other images on Mars. This one looks like it is a monument that was made as part of the ship. And then, we can see a second-story cabin, with some intelligently designed structures on it. As we move back towards the stern, in the center of the ship you can see where it snapped in half due to an earthquake or something. Look at how the ship separated. Normal rock doesn't do that. And lo and behold, we see another clear image of a snake-like creature, with a head and a flat body, that looks like it was designed as steps on the ship. Very strange, but it is hard not to see that it is intelligently designed. Or maybe I'm wrong, and it is an actual living being. Here's another image of that where you can clearly see it has its mouth open. You know, what we can't figure out is why this new evidence is not going viral all over the internet. If you look at the Perseverance YouTube channel, there are several hundred people watching it live. Do they not see that there is definitely something amazing happening on Mars right now? Or are we the only ones that see it? Well, if we are, then I guess it is like the recordings that Ryan has been working on for the last 20 years, and it's all an illusion. Personally, we know it isn't, but only you can make that decision.
That completes this presentation. To hear more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit our website at theangelscrolls.com.